rolling.
This is how to lubricate the bearings that are inside the pivot block here. You want to loosen the Allen screw that's in the stop collar. This is a 5/32 inch Allen wrench, and we'll get that loose. And remove the stop collar. It unscrews. Eventually, there we go. Then take out and keep these parts in order because there are several parts right here. The first one is a disc spring. So we'll put that there. The next one is a thrust washer. This one has kept the O-ring on it. Then we'll have a thrust bearing. Then another thrust washer. All right, now we have the end of the shaft here. And to lubricate the bearing that's just inside, we think the best way is to take some grease and put on the threads of the shaft all the way around. And put a little bit more on there for good measure. Then we want to pull the shaft forward through the pivot block. And to do that, take the overarm and just pull on it, and you can see that the shaft is going through there. Now, when we get it that far out, we don't have to take it all the way out. In fact, it won't come all the way out while it's still in the machine. We'll take some grease and put on the shaft here so that when the shaft goes back in, it will draw some grease into the bearing that's located in this side. Then we'll just push the shaft back into place, being careful that the O-rings and everything stay on this side. Now, all we need to do is replace the parts in the same order. That is the thrust washer, the thrust bearing, another thrust washer, and then we can put the O-rings back on. They go around the outside and it kind of keeps any dirt out of these bearings. So just work that on, and the other one on, then the disc spring, and make sure that it is curved sort of upward. As you can see, there's kind of a curve on it, so it goes on there like that. Then we replace the stop collar. And you don't have to tighten it very, very tightly. What you want is for the shaft not to have much back and forth movement. So you can try pushing in, pulling out, make sure there's not a lot of wiggle in there. Make sure that it turns pretty smoothly in there, and it'll be in good shape. Then be sure to tighten this back down. There. Do that on both of these pivot blocks, and that can help the life of the bearings inside the pivot block. Now, it's very important before you do any of this to turn off the machine and make sure that it is unplugged. Never work on a machine that's plugged in. And that's all there is to that. Very simple.